There's a crisis in Africa, a crisis if ignored, a crisis if care is not taken will cost us our farmers. It will cost us our soils, our generation, and our independence. Africa was promised modern farming. We were told that new seeds and new pesticides, new fertilizers, they would end hunger and, they would bring prosperity. At first, it looked like the promise was working. Farmers started harvesting more. The yields became more and the government saw it as progress. But beneath the service, something else was happening. Our soils began to starve. Farmers who once worked with nature and they saved their seeds now became totally dependent on multinational companies. And actually here is the creme de la creme of the so-called modern farming. Europe's committee, they sit down in their shiny boardrooms, they debate for hours, and they decide that these toxic pesticides, the pesticides that we are producing, they're too dangerous for our people in Europe, but we need to make some money. So what do they decide? They decide without any ounce of care that these toxic pesticides, these dangerous pesticides, we will export them to Africa. Wow, this is actually hilarious. This is the height of colonization. Africa, we need to wake up. Atrazine, which is linked to infertility, it was banned in Europe, yet it is readily available in Africa. Chlorpyrifos, it was also banned in Europe, and it is known to damage children's brains. It was banned, yet it is readily here available in Africa. Carbofuran, it is said that it is very toxic. It is said that it can kill birds. It was banned in Europe, and it is available in Africa. Paraquat is so lethal. It is said that just one sip, it ends your life. All these pesticides, they were banned in Europe, but they exported to Africa. Honestly, what do you call this? This is toxic colonization. And this is just not theory. I have seen countless faces of farmers battling cancer, battling kidney problems. Others, their lives, that they have been permanently altered. Take, for example, here in Kenya, so many deaths, they've been reported. And all of them, they've been linked to the use of these pesticides. Watch this.
Nilipimba hii mkono mwezi wa 3 2024. Nikaenda hospitali, nikaambiwa nikatwe kanyama ifanyiwe testing. Ndio ikipelekwa, ikitokea ipimwe ionekane ni nini. Ikionekana niliambiwa niko na breast cancer.
2024 tarehe 11 bibi yangu akaanza kusikia mbaya kwa siku chache. Alikuwa ananiambia nasikia kifua nini kujikuna, kutoa jasho. Siku hiyo usiku Jumapili akafa, na mimi nilikuwa hapo. Halafu mimi nikaanza kusikia kwa hiyo koo nikiwa kitu natafika na kohoa, natafika na kohoa, natafika. Hakuna kitu ilikuwa nakula.
African governments are lured into their idea of modernization and the belief that importing European technology is progress. But let's be honest here, progress for who? Progress for our soil? No. Progress for our farmers? No. It is progress for these multinational companies who are making billions, yet our African farmers, they're dying. Let's take, for example, here in Kenya, this crisis was raised in parliament, but nothing was done. Nothing, totally nothing was done. Our farmers are still dying.
24 products that cause cancer. 24 products that are mutagenic. 35 products that cause endocrine disruption. 140 products that are neurotoxic, and they are causing brain damage in children. 262 other products that show clear effects on reproduction, toxicity, and are carcinogenic.
The board has never, ever challenged what I have said. In fact, at some point they said I should be careful not to mention the company names, the product names, because I might be sued. But it was bad. There was a time when I would get even death threats.
Think about this. Europe protects fiercely its farmers. You know, these outlawed pesticides, they are not used by the farmers in Europe, but they're exported to Africa. What does this mean? Are we children of a lesser god? This is honestly toxic colonization. Why is our continent treated differently? Are African lives worthless? Again, Africa, let us wake up. We are still colonized.
They were banned in the whole of North America, and they were banned in the whole entire Europe and the United Kingdom. And so they are not for use there. But because it's big business for them, and Africa is actually the market that they have now when it's banned in their countries, the law there said that you can continue to manufacture those products only for export, not for use in their own country, but for export to a country that allows it. But I always say to a country that's reckless and stupid enough to accept those products, because they're killing their own people. And that's what's been happening in Kenya.
Independence promised and meant freedom, but instead we handed over power to Europe. The UN rapporteur, called out on this crisis, and he said, and I quote, "These pesticides are banned in the European Union, yet still produced for export, particularly to developing countries. This reproduces long-standing racist and colonial patterns of exploitation." End of quote. Europe decides who lives, and Africa pays. This is a modern colonization, and it is alive. This is not farming. This is murder disguised as modernization.
We are not requesting anyone. We are demanding equal treatment from whatever is happening in the US, whatever is happening in the European Union should also happen in Africa. With this petition, we are going to escalate it to the African Union, so that this can form part of discussion within the African Union, systems that look into agriculture, because there is a deliberate effort to poison Africans with what we are calling agrocolonialism.
Europe decides who lives, and Africa pays for it. This is modern colonialism. This is murder disguised as modernization. Enough is enough, Africa. Enough is enough. This ends when we take the control back, when we take our control back. It ends when we fight for our children, for our farmers, for our soil, and the time is now. I am Wangari Njuguna. I'd love to hear your opinion. I'd love to see your comment. Also follow me on my TikTok account, Wangari Njuguna. Let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next one.